Hi everyone, and welcome to Unit 3, Taxes and Finance. So in this video, we're just going to quickly go over what this unit is about, what the timeline looks like, all that stuff. So we're going to start here. This is March 8th, and then you still have your Unit 2 project due the 12th. I remember I pushed that back, so if you haven't finished that, you can still finish that up. But we're going to start the timer on the Unit 3 stuff right now. So what's going to end up happening is your first homework will be due the 17th. That's your computer homework, your first one, and that's on taxes. So you can find that, of course, in the computer homework folder, just like the other units. Then you'll have a written homework due on that Sunday, so that's the 21st, and it's on very similar things. So this first chunk is going to be on flat taxes, like a sales tax, so we've seen this already, and property tax, which is an example of a flat tax with a little extra pieces thrown in. So if you felt okay about sales tax and applying that, it's going to be similar. There's just some added pieces to it that we're going to have to learn about. Then the next week, so that's really going to be our focus week 1, and then you'll have your due dates here. Week 2, we're going to add to this by looking at a few other different types of taxes. So the main one we're going to focus on in week 2 is a progressive tax system, or sometimes you'll see it called graduated tax system. Basically, what it means is not everyone gets the same percentage tax. So think about sales tax. This is week 1, a flat tax. You go into a store and depending on where you are, maybe it's 8% sales tax. So if you spend $10, 8% of that. If you spend $100, 8% of that. If you spend $10,000 at the store, 8% of that. That's flat. For income tax, as an example, at least in certain states, so depending on where you are, maybe not your state, the taxing doesn't work like that. On the first chunk of your money, everyone gets taxed the same percent. Anybody who makes more than that, then you get taxed at a higher percent on that more money. And then there's another group who gets, if you make even more of that, you get taxed even higher. So the amount you get taxed, at least part of your money, it's tricky. We're going to have to go through a lot of examples, a little tricky. But as you make more money, that more money will get taxed at a higher and higher percentage. Not your whole income, just the more money you make that'll get taxed higher. So we'll do some examples of that. We'll look at how that looks in Excel too. We'll play around with it in Excel and by hand. So we'll set both those things up. Then week 3, it is Unit 3 though, we're going to be switching to loans and savings. So trying to talk about what a loan is, what that looks like, the math behind it, and savings as well. And so that's actually going to be week 3 and week 4, and you'll start to see your computer homework 2 is loans, the written homework 3 is loans, and then finally you'll have a break after that to start working on your project, which will be, it's not up yet so you can't see it yet, well, depending on when you watch this, but the project is going to be an extension of your Unit 1 project where you did your budget. Now we're going to be adding into that. So we will be doing a house project piece where you go buy a house, or pretend to. We'll be doing the mortgage, so figuring out the loan you need to buy the house in some different scenarios, what that looks like, doing property taxes on your house. So we'll be putting that into our budget, as well as being able to bring the savings into it by looking at saving for retirement and actually trying to get an idea of what that would look like. So every month I save X. I do this for 20 years, 30 years. What does this look like? So it's, the project is going to be pretty decent. That's why we have this extra 5th week here, is for this extra time for the project. So there's a good amount to this. Most applicable, possibly, unit of all 3. It's debatable with statistics and even some of the beginning stuff, but very important stuff. So get started, Same format as everything else. You've got your readings, you've got your computer homework, your written homework. There's a study guide you can jump into, some extra examples that I had done out. So just get going. Let me know if you have any questions. Stop by office hours. Feel free to also let me know if you want to make an appointment, and you can come in outside of office hours.